Before we get to the news of the weekend and before we get to Jemele Hill, I do just want to tell you about Project 2025. I will try not to inundate you here. I think that everyone should vote and that everyone should know what might really be coming next year if Trump gets elected. It's a playbook for his second term. It's organized by the Heritage Foundation. It's a right-wing think tank. He claims to have no idea who's behind it, even though 140 or more of his former administration officials, like a lot of whom are sort of organized crime family felon criminals, helped to craft it. But the distance that came from Trump came only after the president of the Heritage Foundation said earlier this month, quote, "We're in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be," end quote. Before that, in 2022, when Trump was talking about the Heritage Foundation, he said, quote, "They're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America, and that's coming," end quote. I tell you all of this because here are 22 of the agenda items from a 922-page playbook that represents a better plan for how to dismantle government and systems in this country. Now that after the buffoonery of 2016, they actually know how to rig everything in the system. 22 of the agenda items. End climate protections. Increase Arctic drilling. Eliminate free weather forecasts. Eliminate public unions. Eliminate the Department of Education. End free lunch at school. Teach Christian beliefs in schools. Ban books about slavery. Ban African American and gender studies. Ban porn. Ban the pill used in half of abortions. Defund the Department of Homeland Security and replace it with a horseback-mounted border patrol. Begin mass deportation of immigrants and incarcerate them in, quote, camps. Defund the FBI and put the Justice Department under presidential control. Defund NPR and PBS. Raise prescription drug prices. Raise the retirement age, raise taxes for the working class, give tax breaks to corporations and the working class, ban transgender people from the military, and consider reinstituting the draft, promote capital punishment, use the military to break up protests.
Wait, ban porn?
Jamal Hill is with us now, and I think I can say, I don't know, can I say friends with Kamala Harris? You've gotten to know her pretty well, so thank you for joining us. Before we get to any of it, your reaction is what to what it is that I just read there?
Oh, well, I've been very, very kept up to speed on Project 2025. I've been looking at it for quite some time now. The one I can't figure out is the weather service. Like, that is so random. It's just that the other ones make sense and they're totally on brand with this particular organization and on brand with a lot of
but it's just keep information from people on climate change. It's just,
I mean, about the weather, like, I can't know that it's going to be 80 on Friday, 80 degrees on Friday. Like, what? I can't plan my vacation by knowing that, oh, it might rain this day. Like, I don't even deserve an umbrella. Like, that's where we are. Like, it's just, I just don't get it. And clearly based off this list, these people not only hate history and hate basically anybody who isn't white, straight, or Christian, they also hate fun. And I thought if there's one thing that brings America together, it's fun. And so I'd love to know how a lot of people, like if I were the Democrats and I'm trying to message Project 2025, I would start with banning porn and go from there. I mean, that just seems like a layup to me. Like, tell people they want to ban porn, see what happens.
Mike Ryan, I haven't seen you this passionate in a long time.
I'm fired up. Can't be doing that. Everything else seems pretty chill.
That's where the line is for you. Jemele, I do believe that we have not arrived yet, you and I, in a space where I'm okay with any idea of it being normal. That I just asked you about the last 8 days, and the assassination attempt isn't something that was within the last 8 days of what it is.
Oh, was that in the 8 days?
No, but I'm saying I'm not even blaming you. I just think that we're making new things normal in a way that just it can't be. Like, people are going to get worn out the next 5 months. Like, it's not it's going to test a lot of sanity.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why we're having so many of these conversations, because people are worn out. It's that, position in his administration won't be there now. And some of those people, while I certainly detest many of them in their beliefs and methodology, they at least did kind of believe in that government needs to run a certain way, that there needs to be governance overall. This time around, if Trump is elected, he will not have those same safety guards in place. Those guardrails will not be there. So literally, if it comes in here and it comes out of here, it's going to be legislation, particularly since he has the Supreme Court, that's his Supreme Court, and he is possibly going to get 2 more appointments. So there's really nothing to stop him from going straight into the path of dictatorship. And I think we just have this very naive idea in our mind that somehow some system, some person is going to come with a cape on and save us from ourselves and save us from our own apathy. And it's like, no, we have to be the heroes in our own story. We have to save ourselves. If we do not save ourselves, there are no systems in place that are going to prevent the most dastardly and extreme outcomes from happening. I'm not saying that to be alarmist. I'm saying that to be real. And, my fear with putting Kamala Harris on the ballot this close out to the election is that energy that we just saw from the media directed at Joe Biden about his health, his cognitive ability, it will be about different topics, but all that energy is going to shift to Kamala Harris. To your point, we've reached the point in the plot where there is literally nothing depraved that Trump could do at this point to get that same coverage of media attention. It just says everything to me about our politics, that the president that has accomplished all these things could not be the convicted felon, could not be somebody who is credibly found liable for rape, could not be someone who has been accused of raping a teenage girl, could not be somebody who had tried to overthrow the government, could not beat somebody who called for his own, who was happy if his own vice president, when he was president, would be hanged. Like, none of these things have been disqualifying factors. To your point, we've not only normalized the type of candidate that Trump is, which is one of the most, if not the most incompetent in history and unqualified in history. We've not only normalized that, but our reaction, to me, is what's most dangerous about it, is that it doesn't even move the meter for us anymore. And that is scary.
Jamal, I think we can agree that Trump becoming president the first time was in response to a black man being president for 8 years, correct?
Yeah, I think that is absolutely correct.
So let's say that Kamala does become president of the United States, given that what we saw on January 6th. What do you think would be the reaction from the American public once that happens?
Well, before, many people that are, far more expert at these things than I am have suggested this already, is that before she can even get to the ballot, there is an expectation, or at least a fear or concern, however you want to label it, that Republicans will challenge Joe Biden being off the ballot. They want him on the ballot. So they're going to challenge her even being there, right? So to even run for president. So I expect there's going to be a whole lot of legal nonsense that happens before, if Kamala is the chosen candidate, before she can even get there. And my hope is that the Democrats have anticipated that. But to your point, let's just say that she is elected. If Donald Trump was their first response, I hate to see what their second one is, because the reality is that I guess maybe I've lived here too long. Maybe I've been Black too long. Maybe I've been in America too long. Any of those combinations of things. It is just in my mind, as of this moment, hard for me to compute this country actually electing a Black woman as president. But even if I want to take myself that far and have hope that that can happen, because certainly there are a lot more older Black people than me who have seen way more than I have, that could never have imagined Barack Obama. But let's just say that happens. This isn't going to be a signal for conservatives or the Republicans or the far right, or however you want to label them, to then say, maybe we should perhaps get this stench of Donald Trump officially out of our party. This is not going to be some watershed moment. This is not going to be some soul searching that happens. This is going to be them digging harder, more extreme into the things that they already do. So the response is coming. And at every point in history, we have seen that whenever there is tremendous progress that has a hope of America actually living up to what's in the brochure, the backlash and the intensity of it is so fierce and so unrelenting that it doesn't undo the progress or the direction, but it makes it even harder for that progress to be seen fully through.